Okay. All right, welcome everyone. Well, welcome everyone. Judge Lane Carter from Tom Green County. This is our, I believe, fourth press conference. What we've been set aside this entire time is trying to keep everybody informed of the progress and the process of what is going on through the disaster mitigation of the floods over July 4th weekend. From the county perspective, what we have is the disaster declarations have been filed, cities have been filed. We had those both ready by 10 a.m. on July 4th weekend, also with the letters to the governor sent out. So we were prepared, and thank you for TDM for helping us assess that and assistance with writing those and getting those signatures set off. That is one of the first key roles in trying to get this whole process underway. From the county road perspective, the only impassable road that we have right now at the time is FM 765. 2105 is passable. I'm still unaware about debris. Always be cautious of debris on the county roads, along with the county roads of Navajo. That was the heaviest hit area where we saw swift water rescues, people being rescued from their homes. So a low water crossing there out in the county. So 765 impassable, 2105 is okay. That's a pretty quick and brief overview of what we have from the county perspective. A lot of the swift water areas were more internal inside the city limits, but right now I want to hand this over to Drew Darby. We have been in constant contact together from the state level, so thank you for all of your assistance.
Thank you, Judge. Well, it's good to be with you. This is a great community, great region. We stand together, we pull together, and we heal together. This has been a tragedy, certainly, but this community is working through the mechanics of recovery. I'm here to just tell you that your state resources are ready to be deployed, have been deployed, assisting city officials, certainly the county judge, Lane Carter, the mayor. Mayor, did you know when you took that oath of office within the last 30 days you'd have this kind of response necessary? But thank you, you've done a magnificent job. Chief Griffin, all the city council members here. I'm here to re-emphasize that the state of Texas is with you. I have been in constant communication with Nim Kidd, who is head of the Texas Department of Emergency Management. We have Sean Baxter in the back. I will tell you that TDM always shuns cameras. They do the hard work behind the scenes. They are here to support. I talked to Sean this morning, and they did not want to get out in front of anything. They wanted city and county officials, local officials to ask them to intervene and solve a problem. They're here to solve those problems. I've talked to Blair Walsh, who is the communications director for TDM. She is actively engaged also. Her voice message machine is just burned up. With so many people leaving messages. I talked to her again today. The state is prepared to do whatever is necessary. I would urge folks to register your damages. It's important that in order to get recovery aid, we need to have everybody that have sustained damages. We need them to register those and register and note those damages, and so that we can total all that up and check the eligibility requirements. It's also important that we learn from this. I spent the weekend, I was down in the Frio Canyon and saw firsthand the destruction of that occurred on the Frio River and, of course, the Guadalupe River going through Kerrville. This is an occurrence that I think the state needs to be better prepared to meet the needs, the emergency needs when they come. So hopefully in this special session, the governor will have this added to the call, and we'll take a look at doing what we had done during the regular session under House Bill 13, which is try to create an inoperability council funded with state dollars and have that council deploy study and deploy early warning systems throughout these canyons, also throughout North Texas and the Panhandle where we've had wildfires. We need a response. We need a warning system, and we need that funded by the state and participation with our local government. So hopefully we'll address that at the state level in the special session to come on July the 21st is when the governor is going to call us back. But I'm here to tell you that continue to work with your local officials. This community, I was just out at the Paul Land facility. I'm always amazed at the volunteerism and the love and the prayerful response that this community gives. And with that, if anybody has any question, I'll be glad to, after the presentation, I'll be glad to try to answer any questions you might have. With that, I think Tom.
Thank you, Drew. It's always great to hear your words and perspectives as I come back from a state level. But I'm Tom Thompson. I'm the mayor for the city of San Angelo. And I first want to say the response and the reaction that has come forth out of the city of San Angelo and Tom Green County has been nothing short of exemplary. Okay, I will match this group up against anybody. Our first responders, the number of volunteer groups. I personally have probably gotten over 50 to 60 phone calls offering equipment, time, manpower. So today we went to a process of trying to assess our damage. We tried to quantify and qualify what we need, how we can get, good services and response needs back to citizens that deserve that or are in need right now. Currently, we have given services to 658 people, and we have 115 families housed. The total assessment dollars Shane Kelton's going to bring here in a little bit. I'm going to bring up Chief Griffith to talk about what we've seen from the emergency services. Then he will roll it over to Jose, and then at the end, we will all sit around for questions. I want to keep this close and tight so we can all go from there with that. Chief Griffith.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to the members of the media again. The information that you're able to put out is pivotal in getting the people the equipment needs and responses from the government that they need. The San Angelo Police Department and the Fire Department has responded to just under 1,500 calls for service here in the last, just a few days. The main priority of work has been rescues. We suspended all rescue operations. We had no more new missing individuals, none reported. We've been working on safety at this point in regards to open structures that had people's belongings in it. We put in a strong police presence in those neighborhoods. We're going to continue that with the assistance of Texas Department of Public Safety. We're going to have some troopers working alongside with the Tom Green County Sheriff's Department and the city's marshal's office and the San Angelo Police Department. We're going to all partner together. Y'all know we're a little bit understaffed, so we're going to be able to handle those areas, make sure we have plenty of police presence. I want to encourage that that we're going to do everything we can to deter any type of the criminal element. Major calls, we've only had one major incident in the last 48 hours, and that was a robbery that occurred. We're working through that. Property crimes have been low, but they are on the increase. So that's, again, why we're going to put down that commitment to make sure we have plenty of staff inside the affected areas. This will not pull from normal patrol services. I want to make that clear, so you're not going to see a delayed response from the normal patrol. It'll be about what it is average. The San Angelo Fire Department has done just an outstanding job. I think since the 2 a.m. when the rain started that morning till now, I think they've seen just under 200 calls for service. During the actual event, that they were able to conduct 16 life-saving events. So that in itself is huge. And they transported 12 individuals to area hospitals. The water rescues, it's so fluid, guys, on this. This is one of the things that's been hard for us to really quantify, is that there was so many rescues going on between the fire department, DPS, the police department, and any other regular citizen that might partner with one of our officers, that we were having a hard time getting that down. We had just under 1,000 phone calls into our CAD and into our dispatch center. And so there's a lot happening, and there was some major rescues going on. If you think about even just one of those life-saving rescues that the fire department was conducting out of the 16 takes a lot of resources and radio time and things like that. So this was nothing short of a miracle to see the amount of services that occurred and saving of lives and property that occurred. We have a video we'll probably be releasing later of some officers that later in the morning, after we had exhausted most of the major rescues, they were helping with a cow that was stuck in some pens. They were getting out. This was just on and on and on and on. It's amazing to see how great of services you have in your first responders. I cannot speak enough on the San Angelo Fire Department. They were outstanding, and it is one of those things that it's been amazing to see that San Angelo, at its worst, was really functioning at its best. We saw people show up from all across the board, the citizens that have come out, that have given us food, that have helped their neighbor, that have helped people that they don't know, that just been come out and given service is amazing. So with that, I want to bring up Jose with the Office of the Public Manager, what is it called, Joe? Emergency Services. Even I can get tongue-tied. But I want to say Joe and his team is a great guy, and we're going to turn it over to him.
Thanks, Chief. Hey, good afternoon. My name is Jose Rivera. I am the Emergency Management Coordinator for the City of San Angelo and Tom Green County. I'd like to first say a few words and again rephrase what Chief had said. I want to thank all of the first responders, the San Angelo Fire Department, the San Angelo Police Department, the Tom Green County Sheriff's Office, all the volunteer fire departments, and all the nonprofits that have stepped up to the plate to assist our citizens during this time of disaster. A few things I want to speak about. We're going to start our damage assessment process. What does that look like in the community? In order for our community and our citizens to receive the assistance that they need, we need to paint a picture to our state and federal partners. How big was our disaster? How bad was our disaster? Right now, we have some preliminary numbers, but we really need to get into those neighborhoods and take photos of the damage to see how many structures were destroyed, how many structures experienced minor affected major damage. So what to expect in the next few days, you're going to see damage assessment teams in the neighborhoods, in the city and in the county, obtaining damage assessment information. What to expect, you'll see a team member essentially in front of your property, taking a photo of your property. You may see them take a photo of the damage. They will not have permission to enter private property. They're just taking these photos from the street so that they can submit that damage to the local, state, and federal partners so that we have a true count of how much damage happened here in San Angelo and Tom Green County. The damage assessment program that they will be utilizing is the ISTAT tool. That stands for the Individual State of Texas Assessment Tool. To date, we have a little over 85 assessments that have been submitted voluntarily by citizens. We thank you for doing that. If there are any citizens out in the community that have not submitted their damage assessment, please visit the sanangelo.gov /July 4th website. That will take you directly to the link to the ISTAT survey. It takes 2 minutes to fill out. There's even a 2-minute training video on how to do the disaster damage assessment survey. If you need assistance filling this survey out, we will be providing that assistance at the Disaster Resource Center located at Paul Lamb Baptist Church, 2531 Smith Boulevard, Monday through Friday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. for this week. So if you need assistance in submitting that damage assessment survey, we will be able to provide that assistance to you. It is very, very important in order for state and federal recovery to happen. It's very, very important that we let the state and our federal partners know what happened in San Angelo, Texas. So by doing this survey, it's going to give them a accurate picture of what happened in our neighborhoods so that we can start that recovery process. This recovery process is nothing new. It is used statewide, and it's been used statewide throughout the state for many disasters. There is no charge for the citizens to use this service. There is no charge for the city or county to use the data on this service. It essentially is a state-provided survey that we use. some other questions on how to get help. How can citizens get help right now in San Angelo and Tom Ring County? We've established a disaster resource center, as mentioned, at Paul Land Baptist Church. So if you're needing assistance with sheltering, lodging, clothes, food, supplies, assistance with financial assistance, we're going to be connecting the survivors with those organizations that are there at Paul Land. They're there every day from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday this week. So we encourage everyone in the community that need assistance to please visit that Damage Resource Center there at Paul Land. How can you help San Angelo? At this time, we are in need of financial donations, not as a city, but as a community. The San Angelo Area Foundation has established a disaster fund at their organization to help the citizens directly with this disaster. When you donate to that fund, you're not donating to the city, you're not donating to the county, but you're donating to an established fiduciary agent that can go out and help those survivors that need that assistance. The San Angelo Area Foundation has established these funds in the past, and they've helped our citizens in the past with these type of disasters. Speaking with the United Way and our Concho Valley community organizations active in disaster, at this time they are saying, please do not send any more used clothing. They are okay on that kind of donation. If you want to donate fans right now are a big need in the field for our survivors. But at this time, please do not donate any more used clothing. In conclusion, I want to mention that all of the information I discussed today can be found on our website, sanangelo.gov /July 4. So the survey, link to the survey, the link to financial aid from the San Angelo Area Foundation. There's a link for folks who want to volunteer and help in the community. The COAD initiative is helping with that volunteer management piece. They're also assisting with that donation management piece. All of that information lives at that one website, sanangelo.gov /July 4th. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Public Works Director, Mr. Shane Kelton.
Again, Shane Kelton, Executive Director of Public Works for the City of San Angelo. As Mayor Thompson mentioned earlier, we here at the city, just some numbers that we're looking at so far on existing expenditures and what we're looking at moving forward as we move into the debris removal and what has been done up to this point as well. Currently, we have entered into, or this Thursday, we will be going to council, entering into a task order and a contract with a debris removal company with a not-to-exceed amount of $1 million. Also, we will be entering into a contract with a FEMA-required monitoring company that will be monitoring the situation as we remove debris from in front of the residential areas around town in the affected areas. And we will be entering into a contract not to exceed $350,000 on that. Currently, use of city equipment, we're currently preliminary estimates at about $150,000 so far, and costs incurred just due to the amount of labor and the amount of folks that have been out there, amount of our workforce that's been out there helping through all of this process. That's police, fire, public works staff, and all staff that's been out there helping and assisting at this point. As we're talking about our those labor costs, the use of equipment was $150,000. Labor costs are $375,000 approximate costs at this point. Again, we are all still actively working. Police, as the chief mentioned earlier, and of course my public works staff. Want to give a shout out to those guys. They've been going long days along with the police department, fire department, putting in a lot of long hours. Excuse me, a lot of long hours, and really moving, getting out there and trying to assist with everything as best they can. A couple of updates on our trash service. This morning, Republic, they did mobilize a lot of assets, and they were able to get assets here. They did start on their typical normal route, weekly route this morning. They started out with their Monday route, and they will continue daily just as normal on their daily routes, hitting their Monday route, Tuesday route, Wednesday routes, so forth and so on as we move through the week. The recycling component is still suspended at this time. So we will be commingling anything that is put out at the curb. It will be commingled through the rest of this week. We're going to reassess that as we move into the following week, as we get a better handle on what's really out there and how long it's taking to collect this. We have seen quite a bit of increase in what is being set out, especially in the affected neighborhoods, for just household trash. Also, bulk services will be suspended throughout the rest of this week as well. Again, for the same reason, as we're going around collecting, trying to assess how much is out there and what we need to do. We will look at reestablishing that as we move into next week as well. The landfill, we have been working around the clock, pumping around the clock, drying surfaces, and we will be able to open the landfill to the public at 7 a.m. in the morning. And it will remain open during normal business hours, operating hours out at the landfill, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then on Saturday, open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, those services will be, ready starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. And again, just want to briefly manage, we're talking about our debris management and the company coming in. Again, want to reiterate how important it is. Please do not take your stuff from your residence to the landfill. Please put it in your front yard, back of curb, or at edge of pavement. And we do have this company that will come around, come around and pick this up for you free of charge. If you do go to the landfill, be reminded that citizens do have one free dump per month with their water bill. But again, you must be present with your water bill when you do it. You cannot have a family member or some other person do it for you. You must be present as well with your ID when you get to the landfill. And again, the company, we will start the collection. The collection company will be here, and we will start in the heaviest area, affected area, which is that area along Bell Street, south of Pulliam. In that region right there, we will start debris removal with that company on Monday morning, July 21st. And with that, we will turn it back over to Judge Carter.
Thank you, Shane. I'd like to piggyback off of the debris management pertaining to the county side. We're currently working with the feasibility of possibly piggybacking off of the company that's coming through off the city side to help maintain the debris management from the county. Also working with Republic Services, who have provided that option for us as well. So thank you all again for coming. Appreciate you all allowing us to give us the updates, and we'll open it up for questions.
On the trash pickup, those of us or some that say they weren't affected by the storm, or even if they were, and we have alley pickup, is that the same? Instead of taking
Shane.
everything to the curb, and still just be?
No, if you're not in an affected area, in one of the affected areas that we showed on the map the other day, it will be just, you'll set your trash service out just like you normally would. If it's alley service, it will remain in the alley. If it's back or front curb. But again, it will be normal service in unaffected areas.
I'd like to ask, has there been an actual emergency declaration from the president to give funds any FEMA assistance?
Mayor Tom Thompson and I have took a tour with Congressman August Pfluger yesterday evening. We showed him the two assessed areas north side of town and also around Bell Street and Pulliam. There has not been an actual presidential declaration at this time. We are working with his office and working towards that as a possible solution and outcome for it.
Can I comment?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Hey, thank you for that question. That's been a question brought up to our leadership this week. Will there be a federal declaration, a presidential declaration for our community? Before a declaration can be ordered, we must have the data on the damage. That is the whole reason that we're doing the damage assessment surveys this week. That's why you'll be seeing those damage assessment teams in your neighborhoods, because the goal is to paint that picture to our state and federal partners. Hey, we need a federal declaration for the community of San Angelo and Tom Green County.
More questions?
When does that survey close, and then how soon will we have final numbers after it closes?
Yeah, great question. So the survey is always open, 365, 24 hours a day. We're hoping to get all this data within this week. It is imperative that we get all the data by the end of the week so that we can start submitting the recovery applications for recovery to the state and federal government. But that survey is open 24/7 and it's never closed. And again, it's free for the user to use. It's free for us to use. It's free for us to look at the data that's being submitted.
Any more questions for Joe? Just stay up there.
Okay.
If we only have a partial assessment of the damage so far, do we go ahead and submit that and then edit as we go along?
Excellent question. So yes, please do. Even if you just have a partial assessment of your damage, go ahead and submit that survey. You can resubmit that survey at a later date. It's okay to have multiple survey submissions on one address. It will be verified and cleared up on the back end at headquarters in Austin by TDM. Excellent question. Ma'am.
Yes, sir. With there being multiple affected areas around the city and the county, is there a coordinated map that nonprofits and city agencies can use for those buildings that have been listed as condemned or damaged as we all work together as a community?
Excellent question. So tomorrow we'll be offering a damage assessment training to nonprofits and governmental officials on how to do the damage assessment to go out in the field. So if you're a nonprofit, reach out to our community and we'll line you up with that training so we can go out and do these surveys in an organized effort. But our plan is to separate different divisions of the city and the county so that we can get these damage assessments done efficiently and as effectively as possible.
Do you have the time and location of that?
Yes, it'll be 9:30 a.m. tomorrow at the United Way of San Angelo office. I believe that it's Turner Street.
Yeah, 955
955 Turner Street.
off of Jackson.
And that's open to community organizations, established organizations that can come out and help with those damage assessments. The training should be no more than an hour. It really takes about 2 to 3 minutes to learn the program, and it's pretty effective. All you need is a smartphone or a tablet. For those survivors that do not have those capabilities at this time, excuse me, we'll be able to assist you at the Disaster Resource Center. Mr. Austin.
Hi, Jose. Is there a place that vendors that are coming to town trying to help, or contractors that are coming to town trying to help you to sign up that in one central location?
Excellent question, sir. Yes, we're coordinating that effort right now with our COAD group, our lead, Ms. Cameron Cummins. So when we've gotten a lot of inquiries of private corporations wanting to help in this disaster. So if you're a private business wanting to help in this disaster, please reach out to Cameron Cummins with the United Way. All of her information can be found at that sanangelo.gov /July 4.
I have one last question. This is going to be offered to Shane. You mentioned something about citizens using their water bill to make it dump.
Yes, the city of San Angelo and the county has a similar program as well, where the citizens can use their water bill once a month for a free dump at the landfill. It's a program offered by the city. The county has one as well with their electric bill, to where the citizens can have one free dump per month at the city landfill. And again, they can use that this time, but again, it's just one free dump. But again, it is available to the citizens of San Angelo. Again, as part of the process, you take your water bill and a driver's license to verify who you are to make sure that you're using your water bill. So. Got it.
Shane, can you reiterate can take a trailer load out there and a dump load now, commercial, residential?
Yes, it's open. We're going to, in the morning, it will be open to commercial and residential. It's not just limited. It will be, the landfill will be back open for business as normal. Just like before the disaster, it's open for business.
One question. How long do you think to finish to clean all the sanangelo of this disaster?
With our preliminary assessments right now, with the debris management company that we've been out looking and doing the assessments, we believe this process is going to take approximately 90 to 120 days for us to get the majority of this. Of course, we realize that it's going to carry on a lot longer than that for these victims to fully recover, to get their homes back into shape and to get everything put back. So, but again, the initial cleanup, the initial service that's being provided, we believe that the majority of it will be in the next 90 to 120 days.
Another question. So, the city of San Angelo is continue help the people lost everything and donation and receive food. People are not people in the have food. He lost everything. So you and all the community so right now. How and how all the service for this in this time?
Yes, if United Way, but yes, if you have suffered a lot of loss, or you have again, need assistance, you need help, please go out there to Paul Ann Church, and I believe, Jose, 12 to 6? 12 to 6, Monday through Friday. And there are folks out there that will be able to help and provide and give assistance.
Does that include counseling services?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead,
Cameron Cummings with United Way and the COAD. So West Texas Counseling Guidance is at the Paulin site right now, and then for the individuals that are housed in the hotels, we have MHMR and West Texas Counseling Guidance serving those individuals with mental health services, and La Esperanza is serving them for any physical needs that they have or medication that they've lost or things like that. So,
Cameron, can you go ahead and talk about how long we'll stay at Pauline? And then
Yeah.
break that up.
yeah, so right now, we've been going day by day, but we will be there for the rest of this week. We'll reevaluate with Jose and the city team if we need to go to next week and continue to have that open. It'll just depend on the demand. If we're not seeing a huge influx of individuals that are coming every day, it's not that those services won't be available if that building's not functioning as the, what is it called? The DRC. Those services are always available. They're just right there in that one facility. So as we see the influx of individuals going down, we'll see those services maybe being done at some of those locations that those agencies are at. And so, but for right now, for sure, the rest of the week, potentially next week. But I don't want to give you a for sure thing right now. We'll have to reevaluate that later this week. Okay.
I failed to mention the wonderful community effort that Karen and the United Way of the Concho Valley are bringing to this community. Thank you, Karen. I know Ashley Emmons, and you work closely with the Concho Valley Community Action Council, Mike Burnett. I don't think he's here, but Concho Valley Turning Point, Maria Mejia, Warehouse for Donations, all that is working. There are a lot of folks, as you might suspect, throughout this state and throughout the country for that matter, who have focused on San Angelo and the need of San Angelo and are interested in making some donations. And so I would point out to the listening audience that the San Angelo Area Foundation, Matt Lewis and his team, are taking monetary contributions to help in this effort. I would urge everyone that wants to give to that cause to reach out to the San Angelo Area Foundation and make that possible. We have a very generous community here, but we're seeing the outpouring of help from all over this state and all over this country, so thank you.
Any other questions?
Mayor, you mentioned 115 families housed. Is that in just hotels across the city? Is that where they're housed?
That is correct. 600, I think they're, Cameron, what was the number? 658 people?
Yeah, 658 households have been served,
Right.
and
158 are actually housed.
115 of those are actually housed.
115.
We'll have individual numbers at some point in time, but we'll just.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. With that number, 658 being served, and I've heard over 1,300 in the county. Jose, you mentioned that we've only had 85 ISTAT applications completed. Sounds like we need a lot of volunteers to help with assessment this week. Is that a true statement?
I would say that's a very true statement. Some of the emphasis we had in meetings today was we need people to go online and fill out ISTAT. All right, it's very important for us to hit the benchmarks to get reimbursement. And we need to encourage you. If somebody's sitting home thinking, well, what I incurred was not enough, that is wrong. We need you to go online, go to ISTAT. TDM is working on a training portion on how to educate people to go through that. We need to have these things done by Thursday or Friday just to try to hit the benchmarking level. But there's going to be training sessions, and we're going to try very hard to get everybody into ISTAT. Does anybody have any additional questions?
Tomorrow's event where members of the nonprofit organizations will be able to assess damages. Is that anybody that can do that, or is it just nonprofit organizations?
So I think right now we're looking at nonprofits, but I don't think anybody's going to turn somebody away if they've had some damages and assessment to go down. Manny, if that answers your question. Sir?
More volunteers, the better.
Right now, but we're trying to organize that. We have lots of volunteers. What's been difficult is the amount of people that come in, and we're going to decide, we're trying to avoid duplication. All right, so when we go out and service these neighborhoods, and there's several different nonprofits, we want to make sure that we get everybody allocated, and we don't do duplication on, we have 3 or 4 different groups covering the same neighborhood. All right, with that, I want to bring up Chief Brody was actually out of town, but I want to maybe talk about 1 or 2 of the swift water rescues that we've done.
Thank you, Mayor. Patrick Brody, Fire Chief. First of all, incredibly impressed with the coordinated response to this event. And when I mean coordinated, what I'm talking about is Texas Task Force 1 was pre-deployed to our town. That was a huge resource. Fort Worth Fire Department was here assisting us. DPS, SO, Police Department. I spoke with our rescue lieutenant the morning after everything started to calm down. He said he went from approximately 3 o'clock that morning, nonstop, 16 water rescue events. And he told me, he goes, Chief, these were not just helping somebody out of a vehicle in high water. These were bona fide, life-saving rescue events. If we had not responded, if we had not intervened, we would have had a significant number of fatalities. So a huge shout out to the crews that were on duty that day. I couldn't be more proud of the men and women that work for my organization. And Chief Griffith, very coordinated between our 2 organizations, and there's a lot of lives that have been saved because of these 2 departments and our surrounding volunteer community and their assistance. Also, some of the areas that where these rescues took place, the heavily affected areas, Bays Buchanan, Archer Bell, Pulliam area, of course, out into the county and Grape Creek area, a lot of swift water rescue events out there, a lot of fast-moving water, and water is a very powerful force. If you've ever been in it, it is exhausting and very taxing on our crews. And actually, my rescue lieutenant sent me a picture of his brand-new tennis shoes that the soles were completely worn off of them after this event. It was an incredible response from our personnel. So, any direct questions related to that? Okay, I'm done.
Once again, I want to thank everybody. Before we go, I want to highlight John Austin Stokes and Aaron Hernandez from the Contra Valley COG. This is turning into a regional effort as well. We have the surrounding counties and the county judges that are going through, and the emergency management coordinators that are going through the same situation. As the rainfall happens up north, it tends to flood down south as well. So Concho County, Schleicher County, we still are technically under a flood watch. We have the isolated thunderstorms that are popping up. Our grounds are saturated, any kind of event that would pertain to 2 to 3 inches could see a rise of water. Always be cautious. Make sure you know where the low water crossing areas are. If there is any swift water, if you see anything going across the roadway, do not attempt to go across it. Like I said, we have a few impassable roads at this time. Make sure you stay away from those areas. And also, I mentioned once again, for the folks that are trying to assess the areas that were not in the affected area, please try to stay away from those areas. That way, our first responders can treat the areas that needed to be treated with the affected. So with that, if there's no other further questions, I want to thank y'all again. When do we have a scheduled time?
Tentatively Wednesday if required.
Tentatively Wednesday, we will have another press conference. We will set that and let y'all know. Thank y'all again.